Welcome to Voice of Feathers Tarot. If you clicked on this video, I want to say thank you. I hope you'll stick around as I trust there's going to be a message in here for you. I've already pulled some cards, so with that being said, let's get straight into the message. So I pulled some oracle cards first thing for this reading, and I pulled a couple of tarot cards with the intention to pull more as we go throughout the video. This time I was asking a specific question of the cards. So I was asking for Leo season, which we're currently in now, what are the lessons and the blessings that we need to be aware of, what's coming in for us throughout Leo season? So I'm going to start with the oracle cards and talk a little bit about what I'm picking up there. So for the lessons, we have sorry, it wasn't lessons, it was blessings, this card, sorry. We have attachment. It says longing and desperation here, but I pulled this for the blessings. So what I was getting for this card, it was talking about a warning about not poisoning your present joy with the misery of desperation. So because this is coming out as a blessing, I'm hearing that this is what you're letting go of. This is what you're freeing yourself from in terms of the web of attachment. Being attached to outcomes of success, being desperate about certain outcomes and about how of the way things play out. So you're really letting go of anything like that. You're letting go of what success looks like so that it can be brought to you in its raw and authentic form. So that's what I'm getting as being brought to you as a blessing throughout the Leo season. But it might not feel like a blessing. It might be something that you are grappling with. So you might feel like attached to a certain outcome, but you deep down know that that result isn't the reason that you're doing something. Okay, so that's what I'm getting there. Then for the lessons, I got two cards from this oracle deck. One is Up from the Depths, and it says releasing difficulty. And then we've got Beneath the Surface, it says hidden truths and something unknown. Now this iceberg image instantly was giving me Freud's id, superego, and ego. So if you've heard of that in psychology before, and because much of the iceberg is beneath the surface in this image, and that's the name of the card, I'm feeling that the id portion is being heavily highlighted here. And the id is the part that relates to the things that we want, the things that we need, our sort of like basic impulses and our basic instincts and drivers. So let me just check that I've got that right. So the id's the subconscious level. It's not really conscious that we operate from this level. It's very, very basic. So they talk about how babies are all id because they're all about just getting their needs met, and they don't really consider other people's feelings or things like that. So basic impulses such as sex and aggression, seeking immediate gratification, irrational and impulsive. So this is coming through as the lessons. And it kind of makes sense for the more shadowy aspects of Leo energy, to be fair. There can be a tendency to really care about one's appearance and how they're publicly perceived. I mean, Leos are just destined to be in the spotlight, right? Like their energy is really beautiful and radiates in that amazing way. But there can be, I mean, in a spiritual sense, we'd call it ego, which is funny because it's different to the Freudian concept of ego. But yeah, so with that, I'm just getting that you're grappling with those feelings of just really wanting to have what you want and realizing that you need to let go of the attachments to the outcome, and you need to release any idea of like difficulty, letting go of desperation, taking action towards your goals while focusing on the present joy and blessings is what it says in the guidebook for the attachment card. I also pulled a card from another deck, and it says the Sacred Radiance. And I'm getting this is very much that radiant Leo energy of being very magnetic. I'm sort of getting Queen of Wands energy here. And it says here, own your power, claim your role, and shine your light. So it's almost like I guess a battle between wanting to claim your power and own your own radiance, versus like fearing being held back, due to like underlying doubts or something about like rejection, failure, or disappointment. So I'm getting, who am I to do this or that? Why would I imagine that I could even do that? Why would people listen to me, or why would they care what I have to say? What makes me so special? It says in the guidebook as well, you may be so frozen with terror that you are refusing to acknowledge or perceive what this is about. So you don't want to stay stuck or hidden where you are. It may feel safer than stepping into the light where others might disagree with you, laugh at you, or ignore you. I was getting before that what this is sort of saying to me is like, you're becoming very aware of what it is that you're wanting to achieve, but you're also becoming as equally aware of the need to let go of attachments. I've pulled the first two tarot cards, and I've got the dark one crossed by the Queen's Favor, which is the Death card, crossed by the Judgment card. It's almost like the lesson and the blessing for Leo season is coming to terms with the fact that your success will be evidenced by being disliked by certain people. That's the thing that's going to be really challenging, though. So I'm getting that in the past you may have placed your worth, or you may have graded the level of success or the magnitude of success by how liked you were. So I'm getting sort of like people pleaser energy. And the thing that you need to learn, the lesson that you need to learn, is that bending over backwards so that other people like you doesn't make your life easier. The harder thing might seem like allowing yourself to be disliked, allowing yourself to rub people up the wrong way by just like living in your sacred radiance. That's the shadow element that's coming through. That fear of being seen in your power. It came through in another reading that I did, and it keeps coming up. It's very, very much Leo energy here. It's like, it's more about a fear of being misperceived, actually, but you're realizing now that you're going to be misperceived anyway by the majority of people, because people can only understand us or anything from their own point of view, from their own perspective, from the lens or through the lens of their own experiences. That's the only way anybody has perception. So that fear of being misunderstood or misperceived is that's the difficulty you're releasing, because you're realizing that it isn't something you can control. And it's bound to happen anyway. Because, like I said, we can only view things through the lens of our own experience. So it's always going to be distorted in some way. So you're letting go of that and realizing that when you do shine bright in your own sacred radiance, the people who resonate on that level are going to find you. And it doesn't matter when they find you, and it doesn't matter how many people it is. It's going to validate this though. And I know this is sounding a little bit cryptic, but it's almost just like with the death card, it's like a very big personal transformation, and it's being witnessed not just by others, but by the different dimensions of the self. Like I was saying with Freud's id, superego, and ego, the different dimensions of the self are realizing this, and you're trying to release difficulties and release certain attachments that are keeping you stuck. And a lot of it has to do with worrying about how you're perceived by other people. Let's see what else is going to come out for the tarot cards. So for the conscious influences, which if we're going by Freud's analogy here, the conscious is the ego. So we've got number 8, the fairy switch, which is the justice card in the conscious influences. And this is talking about like the awareness of karma, the conscious awareness of how karma plays out. So this is, I want to talk about the ego a bit more, because this is like the tip of the iceberg. This is the thing that's like not hidden underneath, but it's mediating between the id and the superego, the rational testing reality, operating at pre-conscious level 2. Like I said, this is like the balancing between those different levels of self, the basic impulses of the id, the ideas and the morals of the superego, which we get from parents. It's the striving for perfection. That's what it is. So what you're really releasing isn't the id. It's kind of like the superego element, and you're really like aware of this. Like you're aware that it doesn't actually serve you to continue to care about being perfect for the sake of fitting some sort of script of perfection. Yeah, it's very interesting because I'm getting like with karmic payout, it's kind of like looking really different. So the karmic payout that you're being consciously aware of might not look like someone who's getting good karma, but really it is what I'm getting. So it's like, I don't know, it's like you lose hours at work maybe. And so consequently, like your pay goes down, but you find that you're able to then invest time into yourself or into your health or your appearance or a side, I don't know why I was going to say side quest, like a side business or hustle or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing. The unconscious is the 8 of Wands. You're receiving like telepathic messages, like left, right, and center, and they're really starting to penetrate. They're starting to penetrate like your thoughts and your actions. So this hasn't yet come up to the surface. I think that's what this reading is about. So it's helping to bring those messages of doubt is what I'm hearing. So you're receiving messages of doubt from not just past people, but past versions of yourself. Past versions of yourself that are still in survival mode, that's what's coming up as the unconscious. And so you might be consciously aware of the blessings you're receiving and the lessons you're also learning, but not realizing that there's some sort of like telepathy here between you and other people who are on a similar path. The past influences have got the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups typically, like, he's on a journey to bring that cup of emotion, of love, of nourishment to the Queen of Cups, who is all about embodying empathy. I think this is about having like some empathy for past versions of yourself, is what I'm hearing. Because I think that there's like some guilt or something. I don't even get that it's a major thing. It's just like, I don't know. I'm actually hearing it's not even anything you did towards anyone else. It was just the way that you kept yourself small. And there's sort of a need to forgive yourself and have some empathy and compassion for past versions of yourself who just weren't ready to be out in the spotlight. That's what I'm getting for the past influences. It's like a cute message as well. Like, maybe the telepathy is even from past versions of yourself. It's almost like your child self is coming up to you and like wanting to give you a gift. It's really cute. It's really sweet. And it's for going through this difficult transformation, which may have meant letting a lot of things die in your life. Forthcoming influences is the Ten of Cups. Wow. So just like radiating positive happiness, lots of fulfillment, a lot of sharing this with others, I'm hearing as well. And I got another side message there, and I don't know exactly how it relates, but it's almost like with the Ten of Cups, it's saying there's enough to go around for everybody. You don't have to be in competition with anybody. You don't have to be in competition with yourself either. There really is enough abundance to go around. We don't need to be worrying about how other people are being blessed versus ourselves. They're going to go through their own periods of lessons. We're going to go through our periods of lessons and then blessings. It's all cyclical. And yeah, I just get that we're coming into a time where anyone who can't recognize that this isn't a competition or this isn't a game is going to fall out of your awareness. They're going to fall out of influence as well. For the advice, the Three of Platters. So yeah, this is Three of Pentacles. So collaboration, collegiality. I see you finding a small number of people that really improve your quality of life. And I'm getting here that it really isn't about numbers. It's about like quality over quantity. Okay, so you're being encouraged to work with others and to share with others and to be generous, because I'm hearing that it's going to come back tenfold if you're as generous as you can be at this time, as well as letting other people be generous to you. So if someone wants to do something for you, just graciously accepting it. A small way that you can practice this is if you receive a compliment, just accept it and say thank you without the pressure to be like, oh, thanks, I like your hair, or I like your nail color, or anything like that. Just, it's very Leo energy, actually. Like, just accept the compliment and say thank you so much. And yeah, I'm getting a lot about gratitude and a lot about generosity as well. So for the external influences, we've got the Ace of Cups. I want to pull another card for that for some reason. I'm going to get an oracle card for it. Okay. Wisdom of the Magi. It says mental clarity. Hmm. Very interesting. I'm seeing like with the Ace of Cups, the figure in the card is holding a cup of water, and then in this mental clarity card, it's almost like the water doesn't need a cup anymore. It's like he's able to sort of like mold the water into that spherical shape using his energy and using his mental clarity in order to do that. It's like, ooh, such good alchemy. People are seeing you alchemize difficult experiences, is what I'm getting. And you're not even needing anybody to hold you or a container to hold the blessings because you're able to just manipulate that energy and in a good way, like manipulate the energy in terms of like making it work for you. I'm getting like a lot of control over your emotions as well. Like that's why the mental clarity is coming through. And yeah, it's being perceived by others and it's an external influence as well. So at this time, a blessing that's coming through is additional mental clarity and an understanding and a clarity of emotions as well. I think that this has a lot to do with self love and self worth and confidence as well, like just tapping into that Leo energy too. I do often see the Ace of Cups as a self love card. I know it isn't always read that way, but to me, that's how I see it. But with this being in the position of like how others are perceiving the situation or external influences, I'm getting that, I don't know, there's something about Leo season that is making your mental space, and I'm getting like a temple. It's like your mind is a temple. The clarity of the messages you're receiving is crystal clear. You could be also being guided to work with crystals as well, and I'm also getting um silver as well, working with silver as opposed to gold. So if you're normally wearing gold jewelry, I'm hearing something about starting to wear silver jewelry. There's something about that that's going to be very alchemizing for your mental clarity. It could also be referring to like polishing your appearance is something that I'm getting as well. People are seeing how polished your appearance is, maybe, or it could be something that's emphasized at this time. You'll start to notice like your skin clearing up is another thing. Okay, next card is Hopes and Fears. The Porter of Wands is the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is like he's on he's on a passionate sort of quest for something. Normally he's positioned in sort of like a desolate desert. There's nothing really around, but in this card I'm seeing like a crowd of people. It's very interesting with the hopes and fears, I'm getting here like it's very similar to Six of Wands energy. Normally there's sort of like the person on the horse and then there's like lots of people around them. I'm getting a similar energy here. So it's like you're on a quest and the hopes are that whoever is around will resonate with what you're doing, or whoever is in your life is going to be there for good reasons, for peaceful reasons is what I'm getting, because there's like a dove in the sky there. And I guess I'm getting there's some fear of like maybe some fear of jealousy or of disharmony simply because you're out there doing your own thing, and it's in contrast to staying stuck at home, or staying sticking to yourself, sort of like you're going from the Hermit to the Page of Wands is basically what I'm getting. You're putting yourself out there and you don't even care if there's nothing around. In fact, um the fear might actually be like an influx of new energies in terms of like people. in your awareness, or people having an influence over you. So I think with the fear, it's like the fear of losing sovereignty, self-sovereignty, but realizing that you are wanting to align yourself with like a soul family. So I hope that that message came through, as I feel like that was a bit long-winded, but it's sort of a complicated message is what I'm getting. The outcome is the Porter of Cups, so Page of Cups. So the blessings coming through and the lessons as well for Leo season are going to surprise you. You're going to be offered something very unexpected, and it's going to bring you a lot of emotional fulfillment. It doesn't even have to be a financial thing. I'm actually getting it's not necessarily money. Like I said, it's more of an emotional nature. The strawberries there as well feel really significant. I mean, there's fruit all over these cards, but strawberries could be a synchronicity for you. I don't know why I'm getting that someone is about to be an auntie to a niece. So that just came through as well. So you might be finding out that a friend or a sibling in Leo season announces a pregnancy. I don't know why, but I'm getting a girl. So there's that as well. The lessons are around this idea of things not going to plan being the best thing that could ever happen. Because when you make a plan, that's when you have sort of like restrictions around things. I'm also getting that it's like the message I was trying to talk about earlier. It's about being disliked, seeing being disliked as evidence that you're doing the right thing, evidence that you're on the right track. Okay, so let's look at the bottom of the deck. The sun. It says the sun room on this card, but that's amazing. So the sun is Leo energy, isn't it? Yeah, so I was getting a lot about the sun, like needing to go out in the sun and getting like plenty of vitamin D in another reading. I think that's coming out again here. It's almost like just, yeah, shine your light, radiate brightly, because anybody who has a problem with it is just going to get singed by the sun. So just follow your bliss, follow your joy, follow your happiness. Don't worry about the outcomes. Don't worry about anything like that. Just keep doing what makes you happy. Keep doing what you feel like your purpose is aligned with, and you're going to be good. I hope that that message reached who it was meant for, and I'm sure I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.